Yes, good morning children. Today I am here to take the third chapter in history, that is the ancient civilizations of India. The ancient civilizations of India. So before going to get into the discussion, so let us understand, so what is the meaning of civilization? So when man started living on the earth, so he was a savage, right? So he was not bothered to follow any rules and regulations. What he was doing was right. The mind was right. Okay, accordingly he was living. So he had no companion at all. So whenever he saw somebody approaching towards him, he used to attack on them like wild animals. So his life was very cruel and uncivilized life and barbaric life. It is called barbaric life. At one stage, the man has given up all his wild practices and happened to live with other fellow beings with a controlled atmosphere, like avoided by rules and regulations, and he found a lot of happiness, and that life continued. So this kind of controlled life is called as a civilized life. Okay, it happened in the life of man. So especially in Indian history, we will come to know the ancient civilizations started on the bank of river Indus. So almost all the civilizations, okay. So in the world, if you take the four important ancient civilizations developed, so one of such was the Indus Valley civilization belonged to India. Mesopotamian civilization belonged to the present Iraq and Iran. The Nile civilization and the Egyptian civilization, which was developed on the bank of river Nile, and the Chinese civilization, which was developed on the bank of river Yangtze-Kiang and Xinjiang. Almost all the civilizations developed on the bank of rivers. Okay, the rivers are considered as the cradles of ancient civilization. So here the question arises, so why did the civilization started only on the bank of rivers? It is because the river supplied the plenty of water for cultivation of crops and also the domestic usage. So the man started to live only wherever there is a sufficient river, because he used to keep some animals, cattle, domestication of animals. He needed water for domestication of animals also, and he wanted water to grow crops. Okay, so that he was living and he was selecting only the river banks, and the river banks he used to live. So all the ancient civilizations I mentioned before, Indus Valley civilization, Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization, and Chinese civilization, all these civilizations were started on the bank of rivers. So now let us focus on the ancient civilizations of India and some of the important aspects or the features of our own civilization. How, very civilized people happen to live in India. Okay, it is when nomadic life began stable. Okay, so in the initial stage, man led a nomadic life. He did not permanently live in one place. He kept on moving from one place to another place in search of food and shelter, and also fodder for his animals. Okay, after some time, he began to live permanently in one place. So I mean the settled life started. Okay, so when the man started a settled life, lot of improvements had been witnessed in his life. So ultimately that led to the growth of civilizations. And how do we know about the Indus Valley civilization? Okay, for example, the ancient civilizations of India. So the ancient civilizations of India consisting of two famous civilizations. First one is Indus Valley civilization means the civilization or civilized life which was started on the bank of river Indus. And the next one is Vedic civilization. And it is the period when more civilized people happen to live not only on the bank of river Indus, even on the bank of river Ganga and the river Jamuna, and made wonderful experiments in the life. And during this period, even the writing started. So that is Vedas. Vedas were composed and the Vedas were written now. So this brought a lot of changes in the life of man, especially in Indian history. So these two are the very important civilizations of India: Indus Valley civilization and the Vedic civilization. So let us focus on first about Indus Valley civilization. So here people happen to live in many places. There are more than 150 sites. Sites means places where the people of Indus Valley civilizations were living. Some of them are in Pakistan and the majority are in India. Okay, and these places happen to buried on the inside the earth in course of time. Okay, this is the ancient civilization, Indus Valley civilization happened to flourish on the bank of river Indus. After some time it declined, disappeared. The life on the centers of Indus Valley civilization happened to disappear. There are several reasons, later we will discuss about that. Okay, and they were all these sites were buried under the for example, Varsha, Mehergarh, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Kalibangan, Dodivira and Lotha. These are the very famous centers of Indus Valley civilization. People happen to live in these places. They made wonderful experiments in these places. Okay, later we will discuss. Okay, what are the improvements made in the life of man in these places. Okay, and they were buried inside the earth. But archaeologists, so they started excavating these sites. In course of time, some sites came to be noticed. Among such, the first one is Barsham. So here the people of Indus Valley civilization were living, it seems. And these, Barsham, it is in Jammu and Kashmir. Here, in this place, Barsham, so the archaeologists have found out so that a shallow pit, like a shallow pit. They used to live in a shallow pit. They used to dig the earth in a rectangular pattern. They used to live inside the pit. They are called as shallow pits. So where are the shallow pits? Not so deep. Okay, shallow pits dug inside the earth are found in a place called Barsham in Jammu and Kashmir. Understood? So, what does this place reveal about the people of Indus Valley civilization or the ancient civilization of India? And here this shallow pits, they used to have steps inside, getting inside, steps. They made steps to get inside. Understood? And these shallow pits were used by the people to live in it. So why did the people live in the shallow pits? So archaeologists have guessed, the people might have lived in this place in the shallow pits in order to protect themselves from the cold winds and also keep themselves protected from the wild animals. And also some of the earthen parts used to cook food by the people are found inside and also outside the shallow pit. That reveals us they used to cook the food outside during the summer season when the weather conditions were favorable, good. And during the cold season or the rainy season or the windy season, they used to cook the food inside. So like this, some information is gathered by the archaeologists about some sites belonging to the ancient civilization. One of such was Bursdam, I mentioned. Next, one more place is also identified by the archaeologists, that is called Mehergarh. So what is the importance of this place, Mehergarh? So Mehergarh is located near the fertile plains of Bolan Pass. Here is a mountain pass which is connecting India and Persia. Okay, Persia. So the present Iran is called as Persia. Okay, so that place is being connected by two passes, Bolan Pass and Khyber Pass. Two passes are there. So here Mehergarh is located near the fertile plains of Bolan Pass, which is leading to Iran. So what is the importance of this? So in this place, for the first time, the people started cultivating of wheat and barley crops. Earlier, they used to collect the fruits, roots, tubers, and also hunting the animals and eating the raw flesh of the animals. But during the time of civilization, they already started cultivating the crops. And two important crops were cultivated in this place, were wheat and barley. And also they used to domesticate animals. Okay, domesticating of goats and sheep, because some of the fossils of goats and sheep are available to the archaeologists. They found out, and that is one thing. First time they experimented cultivating barley and wheat, and also they used to domesticate goats and sheep, and those were used for various purposes. And also the people at Mehergarh, they used to build houses, and with 3 or 4 rooms it seems. They used to live in that. Whereas the people in the Bursdam, they used to live in the shallow pits, but the people of Mehergarh made some amount of progress in their life. They used to live in the built houses, means huts like. And these people were aware of burying, burying the dead animals. Even the people, they had the habit of burying the dead animals and the people. Some fossils of animals and the people buried inside the earth are available in this place. So these places reveal a lot of information regarding the ancient civilization of our country. The next site is Harappa. So Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, these two places are in Pakistan. They are on the bank of river Indus. So here this is Harappa and this is Mohenjo-daro. They are located on the bank of river Indus. River Indus is very important to Pakistan. From northern part to southern part, it is flowing through, and it is supplying water. But before independence, and even this Pakistan was also a part of India. Only in the year 1947 it was separated. It was separated. And now these two places, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, they are in Pakistan. So Harappa. So one of the famous site belonging to Indus Valley civilization. And here was a glorious civilization developed during the ancient time in India. But okay, as I told you, this place was buried inside the earth. It was like a mound. Inside there was something. So about 150 years ago, so during the time of the British, they wanted to introduce a railway line, so that they started digging the earth. So when the earth was dug, they found humpty number of bricks, burnt bricks with excellent shape and size, arranged in a systematic way. First few burnt bricks they saw. When they went on digging, humpty number of bricks were arranged in a regular pattern was seen. So this arose curiosity among the Indian archaeologists. So they made a lot of experiments, and they found out this was the place Harappa where Indus Valley civilization was flourished. So this was brought to light last century, 1920 onwards. So this place came to be known. And here about 4,600 years ago, there was a glorious civilization developed in the place called Harappa. Similarly, Mohenjo-daro, Kalibangan, Dodhvira and Lothal. Lothal is in Gujarat, Dodhvira is in Madhya Pradesh, Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, these two are in Pakistan. So these were the ancient centers of Indus Valley civilization. Now let us understand some important features of these places. So let me take Harappa. So Harappa had a perfect town planning system. The people living in Harappan city, they had a knowledge of building a perfect town planning. So that Harappan city had two parts. There were two parts. Two or three parts. So the first was like this. The next was low-lying. So this is the western part. Western and eastern. So the western part is elevated place. It's raised a little, and this is a low-lying area. Lowland. So this place was called the elevated part of the Harappan city is called as Citadel. And the low-lying area was called as so Citadel, and low-lying area was called as habited place. So in the Citadel, elevated place, so some important buildings were built. Some important buildings were built, and this is a little narrow, not so wide, it's narrow. And here are some important buildings like a great bath, granaries, and public halls. So only for the purpose of the people assembling okay in this place they used to live. Okay, and their citadel is the elevated place. So whereas low-lying area is a wide extended one, and most of the people used to live in this place. Okay, they used to build houses in a systematic way. Okay, and they used to live. And the buildings which are built in the citadel, okay, were built of burnt bricks, and also they followed the technique of interlocking system. Interlocking system will be here, keeping one brick and another brick, and when another brick has to be placed above, and they used to collect okay this gap. This gap has to be okay covered. So this is the interlocking system. So therefore, even today, so when the houses are built or the walls are built, go and see. So this technique is being used. And very long ago, about 4,600 years ago, the people at Harappa, they followed this technique using burnt bricks, okay, making the bricks, burning them, okay, and also interlocking system, very perfect way, systematic way, okay, like they had a lot of engineering skills. So that is being okay implemented by the people of Harappan civilizations. All these techniques and the progress in the life of man and peaceful life reveal us the people in these places okay had a lot of civilization. They lived according to the principles. According to the principles, they gave up all the savageous life, wild practices. So with this, okay, the first video of this chapter is okay going to an end. So we will see the remaining part in the next slides. Thank you very much.